Okay, so before this video starts, I would like to just mention the fact that I'm at no time taking a side in either debates, discussion, or other. It is not the goal of the video or the future videos that will come out, but rather share with as much objectivity as possible the information and research available for everyone. I consider that if we must put forward an injustice, a social issue, or anything else, that we must put all of them forward. I'll give more details about this in my future videos. Alright, that's all. I'm just making this disclaimer before some clever people decide to cancel me. Enjoy! Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video is an introduction to the changes I decided to make on my channel, and the content I'm making on my channel. After some thought, I chose to address now more trending subjects, topics. Not necessarily just to be trendy, but rather to awaken questions and comments from you, the public, and then to discuss and exchange with me, because your voice is also as important. The topics I would like to discuss with you have been subject of discrimination. They were often treated by the media and platforms in superficial or obscure or even outright censored ways, severely hampering freedom of expression. This issue of non-respect for freedom of speech or freedom of expression that I highlight is important for what is systematically happening these days, without almost anyone finding fault. I remind you that freedom of expression or freedom of speech is considered an essential freedom in France, and is in fact protected by the Declaration of Human and Civic Rights of 1789. So here's a case that has been victim of this state of affairs. I will cite a group that protests and is peaceful that has been developing in France. So if you have not read about it, this group is called Génération, Identitaire, or Identity Generation. This group is formed by young French people that, well, I will explain briefly what they do. These people, rightly or wrongly, fear the Islamization of their country, incriminating mass immigration that would result in the loss of their national and cultural identity that they inherited from their ancestors. There's a strong political pressure on this group, especially coming from the left, accusing them of being, first of all, against immigration, but also of being racist and Islamophobic through their messages. The question is not now to understand and criticize their motivation and the fear of these people, since it will not be developed here. However, it will be in my future videos, so I invite you to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell just to be notified when the next video comes out. So to continue this introduction, whether or not you have a favorable opinion on this Génération Identitaire or Identity Generation is not the main question. The main question is whether freedom of expression still exists in France. So to continue this introduction, whether or not you have a favorable opinion on this Identity Generation is not actually the main question. The main question, however, is whether freedom of speech still exists in France. We can see that these important platforms and these media systematically ban groups of movements that do not follow their policies. However, these same media and platforms offer in the foreground and with great publicity, not to say propaganda, for their elected officials, the opportunity to be heard. And this despite the use sometimes of discriminating messages and violence in the content. Let us therefore legitimately ask the following questions. Has freedom of expression undoubtedly disappeared? Are we currently living in a system that could be described as totalitarian and dictatorial? Has censorship become commonplace? Is freedom of expression not only allowed for specific groups? Please feel free to answer them in the comments if you would like. A decision on dissolving Identity Generation is to be made in the next few days, but perhaps it has already been made. But just because a group blocks and denounces illegal immigration happening in France, but not only, also in the entire southern region of Europe, some qualified their speeches and their action as racist, Islamophobic, which pushes the incitement to hatred. But listening to some celebrities and influencers and other media groups, to then comparing them to Generation Identity, show absolutely no difference whatsoever apart from which side they are on. But like I said, this is just an introduction to my future videos to come on immigration in Europe. My attention goes to all the protagonists, the pros and cons, and I will end it with a conclusion. On that note, I invite you to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next time for the next videos. See you soon.